Hi, my name's Allison Ruff. Today, I will be talking about the impacts of climate change on marine organisms and specifically the class Chondrichthyes. Sharks have meant a lot to me since I was very young, so it's very important for me to help my peers understand the consequences of our actions in accordance with climate change and how it affects the marine organisms as well as the ecosystem as a whole. This class, Chondrichthyes, is contained of cartilaginous fish like sharks and rays. They have no actual bone. Their structure is completely made out of cartilage. First, I want to explain how climate change affects marine organisms as a whole. Climate change is caused by carbon emissions and other greenhouse gases. It has caused the oceans to become filled with plastic that kill and hurt marine organisms every second, rising sea levels, increase in ocean acidity, which causes physical changes like coral bleaching that can be fatal to marine organisms and the ecosystem. Ships and storm runoff also have a huge impact on the ocean. Storm runoff has the worst of the pollution in the ocean, but this causes habitats to become so infected that it is fatal to the organisms in the environment, which is very sad. Now I'm going to get into sharks and rays. Here are some examples of marine organisms in the class Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes are very important to the ecosystem. Sharks are apex predators, which means they are at the top of the food chain to control the populations of all organisms below them. They keep the ecosystems thriving, as well as other Chondrichthyes. If Chondrichthyes were to go extinct, habitats would diminish, overharvesting would occur. There would be a complete disruption of the ecosystem, especially because they're large in size. Their large size makes them especially susceptible to extinction because of how large they are, and that makes them bigger targets. Sharks and rays are also overfished in aquaculture in many East Asian countries. Chondrichthyes are known for holding a steady part in the economy. Meat of sharks is very popular, there's shark fin soup. However, this is another reason they're traveling closer to extinction, and it should be stopped. It is illegal to fish for sharks in many countries now, which is great, but even so, if the water is contaminated by pollution, the sharks become contaminated, and then we could constantly become contaminated too. So that's another reason why we need to keep our oceans clean. They create major balance in the ecosystem, and every single part of the marine food web would be disrupted if the class were to go extinct. Since they're at the very tippy top, it would literally go down from each part of the food web all the way down to phytoplankton and zooplankton. There would be a surplus of seals if sharks went extinct, especially around South Africa. That's where many seals are and great whites are, and they control the population that way. Climate change has taken a huge toll on marine life. I would personally be very distraught if Chondrichthyes were to go extinct because of my awareness of the consequences and love for these marine animals. What can be done to help turn around this horrible phenomenon is just to do your part and keep your carbon footprint as clean as possible. Recycling, composting, picking up trash when you see it, buying green materials, and purchasing from businesses who also support going green, using metal straws, reusable containers instead of plastic, are all just simple ways that you can keep green and just do your part for the environment as a whole. There are also different organizations like 4Ocean and Big Blue Diving that do a lot of ocean cleanups that are really good for the environment, and some of them do just 1,000 pounds per person in a day. So participating in those could be really good for the environment. Just also general awareness of sharks and marine organisms and how they're affected by climate change and how subsequently we're affected by climate change is very important. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope I have inspired you to go on and do your own research to see how you can help the environment and do your part, and also become more aware of sharks and how they react as animals so everybody can stay safe in the ocean as well.